Hello students, today we are going to take the topic on leaf, that is the venation. So you all must be familiar about the different parts of the leaf. Okay, so today on the basis of those studied parts of the leaf, we are going to learn about the venation. What is a venation and its type. Okay, so first of all we will learn about the part of the leaf. Before coming to this topic venation, we are going to learn about a little quick summary of the different parts of the leaf. So you must be knowing that the leaf is a broad green flattened structure, and this broad and green flattened structure is called as the lamina. Okay, so this lamina, it consists of a center thick vein which is called as the midrib. Now, this midrib, it gives rises to further small branches which is called as veins. So, this veins, or we can say the arrangement of these veins on this whole leaf surface or on the lamina is called as venation. Okay, so in short, if we talk about the venation, it is the arrangement of veins. So, the arrangement of veins on leaf blade is called as venation. Okay, so this arrangement of veins on the leaf blade is called as venation. Okay, so generally we have two types of venation. First one is your reticulate venation and second one is your parallel venation. Okay, so what is reticulate venation? You must have seen the leaves of mango. For example, mango leaves, your guava, it can be your jamun, or it can be lemon. So if you see these leaves, you must be seeing the veins arranged on its surface is like a network. The whole veins, they are arranged in form of network on the leaf surface. So when these veins, they are arranged in form of a network on the leaf lamina, it is called as your reticulate venation. So generally you find these reticulate venation in dicot plants. Dicot means the plants whose seeds has two cotyledons. Okay, so generally those plants whose seeds has two cotyledons, those leaves will show the reticulate venation, or we can say the veins will be arranged in form of a network on the leaf lamina. So such type of plants is called as the leaves with reticulate venation. Now coming to the second type of venation is your parallel venation. If you look at the leaves of the grasses, the leaves, they are long, and if you see the veins, they are arranged parallel to each other. Okay, so especially you will find these type of leaves in your grasses, bamboo. Bamboo again is also a kind of a grass, and it is the tallest grass. Okay, and you will find them in wheat, maize, etc. Okay, so the veins which is arranged on these leaf lamina, they are parallel to each other. Okay, and you will find these in all the monocot plants. Monocot plants, the seeds whose cotyledons is 1. That means they has only one cotyledon. So the leaves which has parallel veins, they are called as parallel venation. Okay, so this was all about the types of venation. Now coming to the next is the function of leaf. What are the functions which by the leaves. Now you must be familiar that the most important function performed by the leaf is the process of photosynthesis. So during the process of photosynthesis, the food is being prepared on the surface of the leaf by the small openings which is called as stomata. So on these stomata, the process of photosynthesis is being carried out, which prepares the food for the plants. Okay, so what happens in the photosynthesis? CO2. CO2 is your carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is the gas which is present into the atmosphere. Okay, this reacts with water, H2O, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green color pigment which imparts green color to the leaves. So carbon dioxide in presence or along with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll forms the glucose, and CO2 is released into the atmosphere. So glucose is the food prepared by the plants, and glucose is a kind of sugar. Okay, and along with glucose your oxygen gas is released, which is being utilized by the animals and human beings. Okay, so this is a very important function of the leaf, that it performs the process of photosynthesis. And by this process, the food for the plant is being prepared. Okay. Now, the second most important function is the transpiration. So, as I have told you earlier, the process of photosynthesis that is being carried out by the small tiny openings which is present on the leaf surface. Okay, so similarly this process, transpiration, is also carried out by these tiny openings which is present on the leaf surface. Okay, and here the loss of water takes place from these tiny openings. So the loss of water from these tiny openings is called as transpiration. So transpiration generally helps in maintaining the balance of water vapor into the atmosphere. So this is also the second very important function of leaf, that it performs the process of transpiration, and transpiration is the process of loss of water from the leaf surface into the atmosphere. Okay. Now coming to the third is that you must, just now we have studied about the photosynthesis. Okay, so photosynthesis here, it is being carried out by the carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, and glucose is being prepared, and your oxygen is released. Okay, but in the process of photosynthesis, what is being utilized here is sunlight. But during night time, as there is absence of light, or we can say there is absence of sunlight, this plant or the surface of the leaf, they perform the process of respiration. Okay, so in the process of respiration, your O2 is utilized. O2 means your oxygen. Oxygen is a gas, okay, which we breathe in. This oxygen is being utilized, and your CO2 is given out into the atmosphere. So this process where your oxygen is utilized by the plants and carbon dioxide is released out is called as respiration. So the plant, or we can say the leaf, it performs the process of respiration along with the process of photosynthesis. But in the process of photosynthesis, your carbon dioxide is utilized and your oxygen is given out. But in the process of respiration, your oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is given out. So by these, that is your photosynthesis and your respiration, the amount of these two gases is maintained into the atmosphere. So these are all very important functions of the leaf which is being performed. Okay. Now next is the modification of leaves. So just now we have studied that the leaf, it helps in preparing the food for the plant. But there are some leaves which performs the different function other than preparing the food for the plants. So to perform those special functions, the structure of the leaf, they get modified, or we can say the structure of these leaves, they get changed to perform these special functions. Okay, so the first modification of leaf is the tendrils. So generally, for example, if you have seen the pea plant, if you carefully look at the stem and the leaves, you will find small slender coil structures. Okay, so these slender coil structures are called as tendrils. So tendrils, they are coiled, they are slender structures which provides support to the plant. Okay, so the major functions of these tendrils is to support. As the stem is very weak, it cannot stand straight on its own. So these leaves, they get modified into these tendrils which is coiled and slender, and it provides support to the plant. So this is the first modification of leaf, that the leaves, they get modified into tendrils to give support to the plant. Now the second modification is spines. If you must have seen around, you find a plant called as cactus. It's a very common plant which you see around you. So if you look at the cactus, the stem, it is green in color, it is thick and fleshy, and you will find small needle-like structures over it. Okay, so these needle-like structures, they are called as spines. Okay, so here the leaves, they have changed, or we can say they have modified into these needle-like structures which is called as spines. So these spines, they perform the function of protection. Okay, so we can say the major function of these spines is protection, or they protect the plant from getting eaten away by the animals. So here the leaves, they get modified or they get changed into needle-like structures which is called as spines, and these spines, they help in the protection of the plant. So this is also the very important modification of the stem, that is the protection. Okay, now coming to the third modification of leaf is storage of food. So a very common example for this modification is of onion. Onion generally we use for cooking. Okay, so this onion, if you cut it into half, you will see the scales arranged inside, one after the other. Okay, this is the root and this is the base, and if you cut and look inside the onion, you will find parallel arrangement of scaly leaves. Okay, so the leaves of the onion, they get modified into scaly leaves which is thick and fleshy. Okay, they are very thick and they are fleshy. So why they are thick and fleshy? Because they store food inside them. So the third modification is the storage of food which you find in onion, and if you cut the onion, you will see these long scales inside which stores food inside them. So this is the third modification of leaf, that is storage of food. Now coming to the fourth is insectivorous plants. So there are some plants which grows into that area where the soil lacks nitrogen. So to fulfill their nitrogen needs, the body, or we can say the leaves, they get modified into various structures by which they trap those insects and utilize the nitrogen present inside their body. So such plants, they are called as insectivorous plants. So for example, here I am taking two plants, Venus flytrap and your pitcher plum. So these are the two insectivorous plants whose leaf blade, or we can say whose leaf lamina, gets modified into pitcher-like structure where the insect, though they get trapped inside and they absorb the nitrogen from the insect's body, and by absorbing those nitrogen from the insect's body, they fulfill their nitrogen needs. Okay, so this was all about the modification of leaves. Thank you.